Great day to you, and welcome to my Achieve Even More program every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock San Diego time and 12 o'clock New York time. Let me know where you're from and if you're looking forward to finding out more about procrastination. Here's the first question I have for you is, what are you procrastinating the most about? Hey there, J.R. Badian. What are you procrastinating the most about? Type it in right now if you can. I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you procrastinate. I'll give you a couple of Innercises to help you understand how to get rid of procrastination. All right. Hi there, Ferry. Hi there, Ladan. Tell me, what is one thing you're procrastinating right now? We have about 8 weeks left in the year. Can you believe it? 8 weeks left in the year. It's almost Christmas time and Hanukkah. So what is one thing you are procrastinating about right now? I'm going to give you the 4 reasons why we procrastinate. Everything I'm going to share with you is based on the latest neuroscience research. So what is one thing you are procrastinating? Hi there, David Jansen and Ayelet. Hi there, Juan. I'm enjoying doing my sessions out here on my deck. It's a beautiful sunny day in San Diego. What's one thing you are procrastinating about? All right, what is it stopping you from achieving? Are you procrastinating starting your business? Are you procrastinating getting on a proper eating plan so that you can be healthier and happier and more energetic? Are you procrastinating leaving a job that you don't like or love? Are you procrastinating leaving a relationship that you're really cozy and comfortable in, even though you might be miserable? What are you procrastinating about? And so let me know what you're procrastinating about and where are you from? Where are you from? Hey there, Clayton from Vancouver Island. Awesome. Procrastinating on your health, your professional projects. Good morning, everyone. All right. So procrastination, it's a huge topic. It's one of the, silent killers of dreams. And it's, have any of you heard of the story of the frog that's, they say, if you put a frog in warm water and put it on the stove and you put it on boil, the frog won't jump out because it's really comfortable. And before it knows it, it's actually boiled to death. Whereas if you put a frog into boiling water, it'll jump right out. Well, procrastination is a little bit like that. As you let it go on and on and on and on, one of the biggest things that it does is you start to identify yourself as a procrastinator. And some people are consciously aware of it, but most people are unconsciously unaware. So you don't even know that you don't even know that you're procrastinating. So let's talk a little bit about what are the 4 key reasons why people procrastinate. Can anybody guess one of them that's really an unusual one? A lot of people don't know. There's one reason people procrastinate from a brain science perspective that is really an interesting phenomenon. And about 2 or 3% of the population procrastinates because of this reason. Anybody can guess what that is? Hey there, Ole from London. So Lynn Renault says fear. Let's see. Vivian says you're aware of your procrastination. Good. Awareness is actually one of the first skills. So here is one that most people don't even think about. It's called arousal. Procrastination for arousal. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, like, what do you mean procrastinate because of arousal? There's a very small percentage of people that when they procrastinate, they actually are activating the nucleus accumbens and insula part of their brain, and that releases dopamine, which actually makes them feel good that they are procrastinating. And then if they have a deadline or a timeline, they actually get a pile of work done in the last, let's say, week or 3 days or 1 day or a few hours. And some students think they procrastinate because of arousal, but it's actually avoidance. And so I'll share with you why we avoid. So how many of you are actually procrastinating because of arousal? You just happen to be the type of person that you get so excited as deadlines approach that you do it because of excitement, not because of fear. So how many of you are doing it, right? How many of you are procrastinating because, all right, of arousal control or arousal, not control? It's a subconscious. Procrastination is a subconscious mechanism that is triggered. So procrastination is an effect. Whenever I work with any of my CEOs or athletes or clients around the world, and we talk about procrastination, the first thing we try to do is identify what type of procrastinator are they. Are they procrastinating because of arousal? Let me just see. So Cornelia says that's you, and there's a few others that are procrastinating because of arousal. And so what do you do if you're a procrastinator because you're getting excited, procrastinating and waiting till the last minute? Well, the answer is you've got to create some counterbalances of consequences for work that's going to get done in a shoddy way that's not going to be your absolute best work. You've got to take a look at what are the consequences of waiting to the last minute when you could be planning, organizing, executing, and having a hell of a lot less stress and cortisol released in your bloodstream, causing a negative counter to the arousal. And so with arousal control, what you're doing is you're using it, almost like a drug. And although it may feel good, it's really not a good technique to use when you have goals that you want to achieve. For the most part, it's because of quality. So the quality is usually not going to be your very, very best work. So give some thought as to how to break free from that arousal. Who can guess the number 2 reason? I've got my notes over here for you of why people procrastinate. And I'm trying to read as we do this at the same time. So Valerie says motivation. And although motivation is a reason, it's not one of the top 4 reasons. Most people, when they want to write a book or want to start a business or want to leave a relationship or want to finish a project, there's a couple of other reasons. Motivation would be number 5, Valerie. And so if we break down that word motivation, one of the things that you want to take a look at is motive for action, right? The word motivation is motive for action. So in the absence of a strong motive for the action, you're not going to do it. So for example, if you need to clean your garage or clean your kitchen pantry, the motive, is really that it's going to take a lot of work. You're going to get dirty. You're going to maybe sweat. You prefer to be outside having fun. And so the motive for action, you have more motivation to go do something else than that. So that is a valid one. But what happens with motivation is if we don't have an emotional reason why we must do it, we won't do it because it's logical. So emotions control our behavior more than logic does. So if we have a goal, if we have a task that we want to complete, like cleaning out the garage or cleaning up the pantry or organizing our closet, the motive for that action is, we're going to have a nice closet. We'll be able to see our clothes better, or the garage will be easier to navigate through. But if there's something that has a higher emotional value than that, we are going to veer towards doing that first, because doing those things requires effort, and our brain does not want to use up any effort. It wants to conserve energy or use it towards gaining pleasure versus doing something that it perceives as being painful. And so keep that in mind as you're doing that. Hi there, J. Marie. Hi there, Ileana, Ferry, Chris. Does that make sense so far? So here's one of the problems that, when we don't do the things that we, have to do, or, they're getting as your smaller tasks that you could do over time. Because what that does is that builds your self-confidence. That actually builds your motivation. And once you get into action, you tend to stay in action. Remember Newton's law of motion: an object at rest tends to stay at rest, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. And so what you want to do is create some counter reasons why doing it will actually be a benefit for you. So it's going to be a benefit to your motivation. It'll be a benefit to your self-esteem. It'll be a motivation to your self-worth. And it's going to give you the benefit of having a decluttered environment. But I want to talk with you about One of the biggest ones, for those of you who just joined, we talked about fear, the number one reason, or not number one, but one of the key reasons that some people procrastinate is because of arousal. They get that arousal for waiting to the last minute. But number two, when people have a goal that they want to achieve, whether it's writing a book, starting a business, leaving a job, fear is one of the biggest reasons people do not take action and procrastinate. So how many of you, I'm just curious, don't take action because of fear? Don't take action because of fear. I'm curious, are you afraid of something happening or not happening? Do me a favor, say, John, I don't take action because of fear. All right. So let's see what we have here. So Sharon is one of them. Great. Yeah, I mean, fear deactivates the motivational center in the brain. So when the fear circuit is activated, we actually deactivate a couple of other circuits. First is the thinking center in the brain, the left prefrontal cortex. The part of the brain that I call is the Einstein part of the brain. And the other thing that it does is when blood is taken away from that left prefrontal cortex and the motivational circuit is deactivated because fear is activated and there's cortisol or epinephrine or norepinephrine in our bloodstream, we actually move into a safety a mechanism, and that is for protection. So a lot of people are talking over here, yes, that's fear. So let me just see here. Hey there, Angela. So fear. So what is fear, right? What is fear and why does it hold so many people back? And the answer is because we're projecting into the future a potential negative, either emotional, mental, physical, financial pain, okay, or outcome. So whenever we think of, let me write a book, and then in the very next nanosecond, your brain is thinking about, well, what if people ridicule you? What if nobody reads it? What if people judge you? What if you're embarrassed? What if you're ashamed? What if? So whenever we have fear as a reason why we're not doing something, your brain is running what we call as a what if pattern, or it activates that what if circuit. And all of the things that could go wrong is what your brain is running automatically. Now, I want you to just think about this for a moment, right? Does that make sense, first of all? Are you operating consciously and subconsciously at the same time? Yes or yes? Well, yes. So when you say consciously, I want X. I want to write a book. I want to leave a relationship. I want to leave my job. I want to start a business. I want to ask for a raise. I want fill in the blank. Your brain is counterbalancing what if scenarios. So whenever we're running destructive, disempowering, or negative, let me repeat that, destructive, disempowering, or negative what if scenarios, motivation is almost zero. And your brain does that as a protective mechanism, right? So it's doing its job. It's saying, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And it's also counterbalancing that with your comfort zones. You could say, well, what if I stay the way I am? Can I handle that? And the answer is, for the most part, yes, I can handle it because it's the devil I know. It's the disempowering emotion I know. It's the feeling I know. It's the state that I know versus the disempowered state I don't know. Except when you know what it feels like to be embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged, when you know what it feels like to fail, when you know what it feels like to succeed and then fail, there's over 50 different types of fears that your brain is playing through whenever it is that you think of achieving a goal. It could be a health goal. So what if you're procrastinating, getting on a diet and sticking to it? Well, why would you not stick to it if you feel better and you're healthy? And the answer is because it takes energy to change into a new habit. But even more than that, your brain is running this script of what if. What if I lose the weight and then I gain it back? They say, why should I try? Then I'm going to be embarrassed because my children, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my husband, my coworkers, my wife is going to have, their comments about it. I don't want to deal with that. Now, your brain's working on all of this stuff beneath your level of awareness. You're dealing with, or you have the most powerful tool in the known universe, your brain. Right? And so when you're dealing with your brain, you have the conscious part that is there for imagination, for choosing, for deductive reasoning, for will and willpower, for resolve and tenacity. But beneath the surface, the biocomputer is checking and balancing against what if scenarios. Does that make sense? And so what I always share with people is there's a part of your brain that chooses the goal, but there's another part of your brain that is running its own software and checking and balancing all of these what if scenarios to protect you. Safety first. So emotional safety, physical safety, financial safety. That's the way your brain works, is safety first, and then energy conservation second. So if there's a goal that requires effort and energy, that's like a negative check mark in your brain. If that goal has any risk associated with it, like failure, like succeeding and failing, like causing you to be mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially hurt, your brain's got another check mark to say, wait, stop, put on the brake, stop, motive for action. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, so how do you counter some of that? Let me give you a little Innercise to do, all right? First and foremost, one of the first tools that I teach people in all of our programs, winning the game of fear or procrastination or weight loss or money or business, is how to control your brain better. Now, I want you to remember something. You have a brain, but you are not your brain. There's a part of you that can control your brain. And one of the best things to understand, to learn how to do, is to understand that your brain has circuits that turn on and off. Stress circuit, fear circuit, spiritual circuit, love circuit, motivational circuit. Does that make sense? It's circuits that go on and off that trigger neurotransmitters that are released into your bloodstream, and that's called a feeling. But all these circuits are triggered on or off 95, 98% by your subconscious conditioning. And so the first Innercise you want to learn is what we call as take 6, calm the circuit. So let's say you have a goal. Write down any goal that you have, or think about any goal that you have. What I want you to do is take a look at that goal in a calm, relaxed way. And the way you do that is you take 6 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, as if you're blowing through a straw through your lips. So ready? Why don't you just do one with me? Ready? 3, 2, 1, inhale. And then exhale very, very slowly. Now, when you inhale through your nose 6 times and exhale through your nose, okay, in small, short, long rhythmic breaths, the first thing you do is you deactivate the fear or stress center in the brain. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because if you learn how to control your breath, number one, that's just one of many Innercises, you can deactivate fear or stress or any of the disempowering circuits that are activating. And the first thing is, when you can actually look at your goals in a calm, relaxed way, then you could do what we call Innercise number 2, and that is called AYA, A-I-A. And AYA stands for awareness, intention, and action. Awareness, intention, action. So what is it that you want to become aware of? Well, you want to become aware of what's causing you to procrastinate. Is it number 1, arousal? Is it number 2, fear? Is it number 3, and I'm going to give you number 3 right now, is it your self-image? Okay? Now, why would self-image hold you back? And the answer is, if you have a goal, okay, that you want, but in the deep parts of your brain, you really don't feel you deserve it. You don't deserve to be an author. You don't deserve to make more money. You don't deserve to have a better job. You don't deserve to get a raise. You don't deserve to be happy. If you don't feel you deserve it or that you are worthy of it, there is going to be circuits that motivate you, okay, because you think of that goal, but then circuits that demotivate you because they're counter to what you want to achieve. And that creates neural chaos in the brain. And so when you do Innercise 1 and Innercise 2, you can become aware of what's causing the procrastination. Procrastination is an effect. It's not the cause of itself. Until it becomes part of your identity, then it causes itself. But procrastination is an effect of either arousal control, fear, or self-image, self-esteem, self-worth issues. And so that is the number 3 reason for procrastination. But when you do Innercise 1 and Innercise 2, and you become aware of thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations, and behaviors, of what's causing your behaviors or lack thereof, now you're able to observe it. And as long as you do it without judgment, blame, shame, or guilt or justification, let me repeat, without judgment, blame, shame, or guilt or justification, just pure awareness, now you're able to see patterns. And when you learn how to see your own patterns, you can actually interrupt your patterns. And one quick technique with Aya is awareness first, then what's one intention that you have? Well, my intention is to clean the garage. My intention is to leave this relationship. My intention is to ask for a raise. My intention is to start a business. My intention is to write a book, whatever the intention is. And then here is the key. Are you ready? Here is the key. Action. What is one small action I can take towards that goal, towards that thing that I want to achieve? You don't have to take 3 or 4 or 5, massive actions. You want to take one small action towards your goal and dream. And when you take one small action, guess what you do? You interrupt that pattern of procrastination. And now you say to yourself, hey, even though I may be afraid, even though that my self-esteem may be in the way, even though, I'm procrastinating, I can take one small action step towards my goal and dream. And just in doing that, you actually change the neural structure in your brain. So that's just Innercise 1 and 2. Take 6, calm the circuits first. Number 2 is I, awareness, intention, action. And that leads me to reason number 4 that people procrastinate. All right, number 4. Can anybody guess what number 4 is? Are you enjoying this? Hey there, Alex. Thank you. I appreciate you too. Hey there, Ben. Hey there, Angela Albright. Hey, Julia. Hello there, Heather. Awesome. I want to share something with you. My team, by the way, is going to put up a link. I just released a mega powerful program to retrain your subconscious brain around procrastination and the main reasons of procrastination. It's called Winning the Game of Procrastination. And since it's just been released, I'm giving people $100 off. And my team's going to put a link up for you to get $100 off for watching this. And if you want to get rid of procrastination, where you are in control, you increase your self-confidence, you eliminate your fear, you focus on the reasons why you're procrastinating so you can write that book, get a new job, start that business, then click on the link and get the Winning Game Procrastination program. It's a game changer. So when people, I'm going to speak to you directly, Ole, are in a state of overwhelm, that's not the it actually falls into the number 4 reason people procrastinate, and that is decisional. So number 4 is decision. Number 1, we talked about it's arousal. Number 2, fear. Number 3, self-esteem. Number 4 is decisional. What does decisional mean? Well, when we have too many competing priorities or projects in our brain, we actually flood our nervous system with too many neurochemicals that cause us to freeze or try to fight it or to run away from it. And so when we're in a state of overwhelm, that's because we don't have a process to overcome our feeling of overwhelm. Overwhelm is a feeling. Feeling is an effect. If we don't focus on what's causing the overwhelm, guess what happens? We lose motive for action. The motivational center decreases. So when we have a decisional issue where we don't have the knowledge, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do it, I don't have the skill, then in the absence of the how, our brain defaults to its comfort zone. Let me repeat that. In the absence of how are we going to achieve this goal? How am I going to write this book? How am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to make more money? How am I going to ask for raises? If we have a decisional issue, how am I going to overcome this overwhelm? If I don't have a process for dealing with the emotion or feeling of overwhelm, if I don't have a how to achieve the goal, even the first 3 or 4 or 5 steps, we default to our comfort zone. And so the key here is to understand something. A couple things. Number 1 is procrastination is an effect. Number 2, overwhelm is an effect. Lack of motivation is an effect. If you want to really master your life, if you want to master your mindset, then we know how to. So here's what I want you to think about. What is procrastination costing you? What's it costing you in your personal life? What's it costing you in your career or business? What's it costing you in enjoying your life even more? And there's a cost for procrastination, and we all face it. And the sooner you learn how to eliminate procrastination, the faster you're going to be able to be in control, raise your self-confidence, gain more knowledge, gain more skill, gain more awareness, and most importantly, you'll start achieving more of your goals and dreams faster and easier than ever before. The reason I started NeuroGym is because too many people are focusing on effect, and I like to focus on cause, and your brain is at the center of all of it. All right, so quick recap. 1 reason is arousal, 2 is fear, 3 is self-esteem, self-image, self-worth, 4 is decisional. All the rest falls under that. When you learn how to retrain your brain to be able to use it to empower you, you will stop using it to disempower you, and you will start achieving more of your goals and dreams. All right, I am right at that 29-minute mark. All my notes came in handy. I hope you enjoy this. Every Tuesday, I do my live sessions here, and my goal is to help you achieve even more, faster and easier than ever before, using the power of Innercise. You exercise to strengthen your muscles and your organs. You Innercise to strengthen your key and core neuromuscles using mental and emotional techniques that empower you and allow you to achieve your potential faster and easier and more fully. All right, thanks so much. If you enjoyed this, would you mind hitting the share button? I'll help you, you help me. Together we achieve our goals faster and easier. Have an awesome, awesome day. Check out the Winning a Procrastination program. There's $100 off on it right now. And I appreciate you. Have a great day, and please do share this.